Brought to you by PLO Genius.
Hello, this is the People's Commentator, and we're here today with Mr. Vogelsang, the better looking of the two Vogelsangs, who takes less time. Is that accurate, Tom?
Yes, I take less time.
And what is your
Sure.
relationship with Christoph Vogelsang? Please let everybody know.
0. We know each other from poker, and he calls me my brother. He says, "Hey, my brother," because I said it one time, and now he says it as well. But no, we just I don't even have his phone number, so yeah.
All right, nice, man. Did you play this event, Tom? You played any hands?
Horrible showing so far.
Okay.
I think I'm down like 20 buy-ins. That's not the worst part, but like everyone is bluffing me and everyone's calling me. I'm just having really not a great time behind my computer so far. But yeah, it's fun to play, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like good action, and people aren't too nitty.
It's great action. The games are way better than most people expected, I think.
For sure. Well, put it this way. I mean, they're probably closer to what they're supposed to be, right? Like, if people were playing like massive nits, they'd also just be losing money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. No, I think the games are a lot of fun, and yeah, it'd be more fun if I would win. But
hey, man, you save the run good for the big ones, dude. Don't spend it here.
I hope so.
So we'll just get into random hand. I don't know what any of these hands are, by the way. They've been selected by
don't
somebody
know.
else. Nah, because it wouldn't be too much fun to know what they are. So let's just see. Maybe I'll go through the action. I'll just pause whenever it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll pause here because I feel like some people 3-bet these hands, and I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to, but it's also whatever, right? Like these hands are kind of interesting.
I would always 3-bet.
You would always 3-bet this? Okay. What do you reckon this guy's going to do? Do you know this player, Tess?
I think it's supposed to be a big hand, so I think he's going to 3-bet.
I guess that's a good read. Yeah, nice one. And
now I would check.
Yeah, just because you hate getting raised, right? It's just too shit. You got a double gut shot. You obviously don't want to fold. But yeah, it would suck ass to get raised.
It's also just not your board, yeah?
Yeah, so we'll probably see a check call. I don't think a check raise would be reasonable, right?
Check call would be my preferred.
Interesting turn. Tommy, you got the moves here, Tom? You go for this one?
I would with like a bluff or aces or ace-9, but this hand is, I think I would still lead, actually.
Yeah, well, I guess the key is...
I think you're basically not getting raised.
It's tough to get raised, sure. So
even by a set.
It depends what your sizing is, right? Like for whether or not you're happy to lead this. If you're only betting like half pot or less, betting this is pretty easy, right?
I would not bet less than half pot. I would lead for like maybe 2/3 or something. Not too big, not too small. If we're wrapping like ace-9 or better, probably maybe also with backup.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like this hand. I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's the only awkward thing is I guess that the ace, it's not part of the flush draw that's live, so they could easily have top pair flush draw, maybe even top 2 flush draw, maybe even they could have a lot of equity against whatever you have.
Yeah, but you're not like. I mean,
these moments
you're not calling off a jam, I guess. So
yeah,
I mean,
true. The interesting thing about this spot is, and I think not a lot of PLO guys think about this compared to the Hold'em guys, but how much time you take for your decision. So say you decided, hey, I actually want to check this because when I lead this card, I bet big, and I don't want to bet big with this, so I'm going to check. If you check quickly, you're kind of implying to your opponent that you don't actually donk this card. So they might see, Tom's checked, but they think Tom checks range, and that could just be wrong because you can sort of trick them with how you time on a card. You know what I mean? Whereas if you tank and you check, they might say, well, he leads. That means it's a bit different when he checks. He's kind of weak here. So it's an interesting element. Do you think about this stuff much, Tom, when you play?
It's nice to look into when you're like playing one table of like 50, 100 or 100, 200. And like the other guy is never going to have a lot of tables, but now this here, everyone's having 6, 8, 10, 12 tables, so everyone is snapping it off like click, 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 click. So here I wouldn't look into it that much.
Okay. Let's see what he does. He will pot lead, respect. Gets flattered. Okay, and what kind of river do we get? Okay, so this, I guess this is kind of an obvious river, would you say, Tom, for what you want to do here?
I would always check.
And would you ever fold to a shove?
In these games, no, but usually yes.
I think that's well put. Yeah, I think you can't really afford to fold this hand. Although you could argue that the 7 and the 4 are bad side cards. You might be better to have hearts.
This is feels like a horrendous spot to bluff, since like a bluff could jam.
Yeah, and it's not hard to check aces here
And
either, really.
like people just have people have traps and just an ace a lot, and yeah, that range is just not folding for half pot or like 60%. So I would not do it, and definitely not in this coin poker championship.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, with that leveling stuff in mind, and the fact that they might think you check pocket aces, so they're even going to check back with a 9, it makes calling interesting with this hand for sure. So
It's
let's
probably
see.
good. Otherwise, the hand doesn't make it.
I actually I requested them to balance it more. So I think for the first episodes of this, I would completely agree with you. But here, I'll be happy when he just runs into the like random trips or whatever. But to be fair, this guy might not shove that.
Ooh, I like that even more. This
Interesting.
one I like even more. This one. This is
Interesting
nice.
play. Interesting play. It
I mean,
just
he played
it
his
kind of
hand.
depends.
I actually don't mind anyone's play here. Like,
The thing is, if you shove this as this guy, I don't know if you know who this guy is. I happen to, but if you shove this as the in position, you could easily be up against ace 9 and aces quite a lot. Because if your opponent has those hands, he might just decide to check calling them is better than value shoving them. So this value angle here with ace king, it's a little bit optimistic because what hand would your opponent lead on the turn for pot, you know, that you beat here? Would he really just lead like an ace with 3 overs? Every other hand is hard to call.
yeah.
Like, you're not getting check
It's
called by
also-
queens.
Yeah, but also like he had a feeling like it feels like the best hand now on the river. And it's
It
like
depends
60%.
how you think they play ace 9 and aces. Like if they donk them all day and then they arrive on this run out, they might check, you know. So it's a dangerous shove. I respect the thin value.
I feel like ace 9 would also check turn.
Yeah, I think ace 9 is a lot easier to want to donk than this hand.
Aces, and he has an ace.
Yeah,
so
it's a cool play. It's a cool play.
it's only like there's like yeah. No, I like it. This hand is good. I like it. I have trouble finding these ones in game, you know. And like after when the hand is done, it's like yeah, good. It was a good idea, but then it's really hard finding these in game, and especially when you're playing a lot of tables. So respect.
Okay, Mento gonna play this dog shit hand. Do you think this is a standard call or is this a bit of bullshit here, Tom? What do you think?
This hand.
Yeah, probably wouldn't play this, but whatever. Maybe he just wants to get Venny, knock him off the podium. Venny's been at the top of the leaderboard for a while.
I've seen it.
So we see a small check raise here out of the big blind against a small stat.
Yeah,
kind of interesting.
Probably just to get Venny rid of his equity. To play heads up. I think that's the idea. And also this guy has all the fours and deuce and fours, deuces and 3-5, and the rest don't have them. So probably just
Yeah, it's an interesting play. I don't know how often he's doing
it. Get Venny out of the pot and play heads up.
Yeah. I mean, Venny can still have aces, obviously, and won't be folding in any NFD hand.
Venny could check a lot here as well.
Yeah.
In the sandwich.
Yeah. I don't think people c-bet this board really much anyway, even if you are the pre-flop raiser on this type of a board.
I think it's not too crazy to check a lot here.
Yeah. So let's see. Will it be a 3-way? No. And we get flat call from this hand. Kind of an interesting hand. Like, is there any argument, Tom, to some sort of spastic 3-bet on the flop, planning on folding, or is it
Look,
just too
I
dumb?
think like at 100 BB, if I was in this spot, I think maybe you just want to pile it in because there's zero good turns. And
yeah, you're basically
if you
drawing at a
think, if
full
you think
house.
your opponent could have some bluffs and some draws, just put it in and hope for the best. And then if you're like 200 BB, you just always flat. But now with like, yeah, how many good turns you have? 6. Yeah, just 6 basically.
Well, and the 5.
Wow, we're dead. And a 5.
Yeah.
So 6, 9. 9 out of 37 cards, something. Yeah.
So it's not amazing, and this is one of the shitty ones. Opponent is going to barrel here for pot.
Yeah. If I would call one size, it would be this one.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
I mean rather fold. Now he's just wrapping king, or king high flush.
Yeah.
So now he could in theory from big blinds could have a lot of bluffs.
Yeah. For sure.
But I know where this hand is going, so just say it that you rather have him pot than.
Yeah, I mean, you still need to call some hands on the turn and fold on the river, right? This hand maybe isn't quite good enough because it's not a set in terms of its equity. It's only got the 6 outs, like you mentioned, instead of the 10. I don't know. I don't hate a call here because you could have a read on a guy that he's being too aggressive with the future blocker, you know?
No, I mean, especially he goes small on the flop, so he's saying that he wants to check raise quite a bit.
Yeah.
So he could have a loads of king of diamonds.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what's up. He's not going to fold, I guess.
Yeah, and you not on the river. Otherwise, his hand would not be in there.
That is a fair read. Yeah, I think that has to. Well, and his whole cards wouldn't be getting shown.
I feel like it's just king high blocker.
But then, if it's the king high blocker, he has to have either 4-5 or a top pair, right?
He went so small. He could just have like
some gut shot 5-6 with a king.
No, he could have any 2-3, 2-5, 4-3, 4-5, 5-6. Maybe even just a pair. Maybe even just ace king, king of diamonds. Any ace with king of diamonds. I mean, it's 4 cards.
Yeah.
Like he could have, he could have a lot.
Yeah, I guess when you're in these kind of moments, Tom, do you think back to the pre-flop and just try to figure out just how wide the guy's range would be, and maybe let that help you decide whether you call or not? How do you make those decisions?
I don't think in range is a PLO.
No.
I just play my hand.
Yeah, so you got this, so you just call, huh?
Nah, I would not. No, I would not. But I respect it, and I mean, there's a fair chance.
I think he's just definitely going to have the best hand here. That's what I think. I agree with your read that the flop sizing, it's like very, I'm going to try and outmuscle you this hand, you know? Either you're going to fold now or you're going to fold later.
And also, like, with the flush draw, you would much rather have Veni in there. You know what I mean? So the actual flush draw, who would also want to call a lot because he wants to keep Veni Vidi in there with a lot of dominated flush draws, you know? So.
Yeah, I mean, back to the flop, it was a third pot stab. You're in a tough spot as Veni if you just have top pair backdoor, right? Like you can't fold top pair backdoor.
Yeah.
Can you fold top pair with no backdoor flush draw? Say he just had like ace, jack, 10, 9, like 3 live cards when it goes small stuff. You probably peel one, right?
5 or 6 to 1.
Yeah.
And
so flatting with that flush draw, it does have some merit for sure. Anyway, let's see. I agree that this will be a bluff for sure. This is 100% bluff.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to raise kings.
Not even gutshot, not even pair.
I think this is a bad play by this guy. I think he's because you were naming a lot of hands, Tom, already with your pair and gutshot and king and gutshot and king and top pair and king. And I was thinking, yeah, that's a lot of hands. This guy's got an extra hand on top of all of that.
Yeah, you would think he just from the actual flush, he just flats a lot of that part of that part on the flop. So yeah.
I think the call down here, honestly, is good.
But still, like these ones are hard to figure out in game, especially when you're playing a lot of tables. So still respect.
Yeah.
He might just call because, I mean, he likes to play. because
I think
it's
he made a good read, basically, just like you did on the spot, that the guy's just overdoing it. So, respectable cooldown for sure.
It's easy to overdo it. I would 3-bet, yes.
Okay.
I would bet half pot.
Yeah. Ah, he's gonna face this play. So this mentor guy is kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's hard. So actually, because ranges have been so actually the one range that hasn't, all the range have been really wide, but a lot of guys are not 3-betting that much.
From big blind.
And especially big blinds. No, not 3-bet in general.
Okay.
So that's the one spot people are not overdoing, is 3-betting. I mean, most people, and the big blind is usually the least 3-bet spot.
I think some people do range c-bet these boards.
The one thing is like, people, this board should be like zero raise for imposition, because ace-9 doesn't really want to raise. Nines also want to keep the bluff. Every value hand just wants to keep the bluff in there. So this is just purely a leveling war. So I think it would be in a wider range scenario. I think it would be really good to raise ace-9 plus here and just wrap a bluff. But I don't know if it will happen. But
what would you do as money? Would you peel here with the double backdoor everything?
I mean, he's gonna turn a rep and a flush draw 100%.
Okay.
And I was thinking about jamming, if you just think this guy out of line, but jamming is a little bit.
It's a bit crazy. I don't think it's that hard to find.
If you just have to read that this guy is always flatting, always good hands here, then jamming would not be the worst play in the world. But he's probably gonna call and turn a rep and a flush draw.
I think I have a slightly different opinion on this board. I'm not sure if I'm wrong though, but I do feel like because a lot of the good double suited hands, like kings and queens, will 3-bet out of the big blind still against the cutoff. I think that you're not supposed to range bet on this board, and as a result, I think if Mento is assuming that Moni is range betting and he's not supposed to, Mento might start making these click raises, like just to annoy him. And I think ace-9 in particular is a pretty nice hand to click, because you have enough blocking effects that you probably have them beat no matter what. If you get stacked here, it's a cooler kind of regardless of what line you take. And this play is just super annoying for a guy who's c-betting hands like kings with a backdoor flush draw or whatever. So I don't know. That could be what's up. I'm not sure. I'll just
I feel like what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
And there you go, Tom.
I knew it. Yeah, now I would just front jam for sure.
Front jam. That's a nice play. That's a nice play.
I mean, you have to, right? What else are you gonna do?
Check, call it off with second pair.
If you turn like, I mean, no, you just have to front jam always here. Just this guy, if he has ace-9, he has ace-9. Just good luck with your ace-9.
And if you have ace-queen here, you're probably pretty happy just to rip it in his face anyway.
And with if you have ace-queen here, like it's a little bit the same. Depends how good your ace-queen is. If you have a good ace-queen with like a flush draw and a gut shot, and you're playing aggressive opponent, you could check. If you just bare ace-queen, then
a lot of bad rivers.
This guy is
he's gonna check. Interesting.
He's gonna trap.
Aha! Look, it goes check though. So this is kind of curious here. I think he bluffs 100% on a brick. This is an interesting river.
Now he's gonna check call, and Mentor's gonna have something fucking stupid.
Is there any merit, Tom, to bluffing this?
No.
It's interesting. Interesting hand. I wonder if there's any point bluffing this.
Now he's gonna have kings too much, I think.
That's true. Yeah, you would have a lot of pocket kings.
Ace jack.
Yeah. Okay. You've sold me.
I mean, nobody. I mean, I think a lot of
Very interesting line. What Mento is repping here. This is a very curious.
He's repping a bluff, or that he got lucky.
Yeah, he could have like some dusty king jack 9 weird play, and then just binked his gutter.
Yeah, but he could. Yeah,
or 9 10 10 whatever, some weird hand like that as well.
He's saying that his tens are better. Yeah,
I guess he could have ace-10 as well, to be fair. And honestly, Tom, if you're here with ace-9, if you take the interesting turn check back, do you not shove it here? Are you a little bit too scared your opponent just checks ace-queen, ace-king?
Very scared.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see what he has. fully retarded bluff is possible. It's not fully retarded though. It's an interesting bluff.
Flop is really good, but on a river, I think that your opponent has just has a call so often. So I think flop is really good play, but river is, I mean, he's just gonna have so many hands to call, and the hands he's gonna fold, he's gonna bluff. So I mean,
Probably. It's interesting, yeah. It's interesting. I guess the problem with a bluff like this is just that our turn check back range is a little bit too weird, especially on this river. Like this river where a lot of stuff kind of gets there and whatnot. And like you say, the out of position guy would just bluff a bunch. So I don't know. It's an interesting play. I think it's kind of cool, but I agree that doesn't feel like it's going to work. Okay, Venom 2. Flops top 2, and he's the pre-flop raiser. He's going to get donked into. Okay. So already an interesting spot, Tom, but I feel like we're probably supposed to raise here, even though we're deep in one.
I was saying it feels like a flat 300.
Oh, really?
I mean, you're just so dead versus 3-bet.
Yeah, but you don't have to call, And like when you raise, they're also scared that you have, a set with an open ender or top set or whatever.
Yeah, it's
true. Like letting the card come off for free. I agree. Like, you can take some heat on a 6 or a 7. You do have a 9. You do have the backdoor flush draw.
You have clubs.
Yeah. You do have clubs. It would be annoying to get 3-bet for sure. But at the same time, letting your opponent have a free turn kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But there's merit to both plays.
But there's gonna be that's the thing that why I would raise at 100 BB and not I would raise at 100 BB and not at 300 BB because at 100 BB bad turns doesn't matter that much, but at 200 BB he's just gonna call and then the turn is gonna be a bad turn and he's gonna lead, and then you still have the same spot, still have the shit spot.
Interesting, yeah.
But I could see raise as well.
I don't know what to expect here. I think that this guy's pretty laggy, so I think he'll probably raise being this deep in position. Let's see that. No, he will just call. Third guy folds. King on the turn. Continue barreling for pot. Probably can't fold here, right, Tom? Got to peel.
Nah.
Got to peel again.
This is just people gonna check all their 2 pairs here on the turn, and sets are also. I mean, it's not on the king. Like it's not fun. It's not like king, let's pot 300 BB deep, and then if he raises, I mean, you're just.
If he raises, but if he raises, some people will go folding for sure on the turn.
Yeah, it's not weird.
It's a dangerous spot.
That's why it feels like a draw on the turn.
And now we have a pretty interesting river. I mean,
now we're just gonna call.
Yeah, somewhat easy call for sure, but at the same time, how do we make those decisions? Where do we draw the line? Is it just down to our side cards? Like we don't really mind our side cards in this spot. The ace and the 9 aren't amazing though, to be fair.
No, but like he's repping. If he goes pop a pot here, he's repping 8s or 5s, and you have an 8 and a 5, and with the read on the turn, that's probably a draw. Yeah, I would like to call.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll see.
And he's gonna call for sure. Otherwise, we wouldn't be seeing the hand.
Queen Jack 9-5 with missed FD.
Yeah, turn is crazy as well. Yeah. I mean, flop. I mean, it's pretty wild, this one. I mean, turn is like, so. When you're getting called by what, like not flush draw. A lot on turn as well. So like the bluff is. Like there's no card in the deck you can hit and be happy. Maybe a 5, but still.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know how I feel about this overall. It's an okay play. It's a bit of a spazzy play, but it's not like full dog shit.
If this guy is calling range on the river, it's not a crazy play in the world. I wouldn't say he's calling range, but I mean I can hardly see any person playing this game is folding an 8 here. So he's basically just almost always getting called.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like he's crossed the line. I agree with that. I don't absolutely hate it, but it is just spaz. It's a spazzy play. The call is nice, so well played.
Yeah. Okay, so we
Okay.
open, yeah? Or not?
Yeah, we're the pre-flop raiser middle position
Yeah.
here. We got sitting out guy in there. Silk Brother was sitting out, I believe. By the way, Tom, what's your read on God from Stock? Is it God from Stockholm? God from like the stock market? What's this guy saying that he is?
God from Stock. I haven't thought about it.
Is the
Stockholm. I go Stockholm.
Yeah, I like that. He's the current leader in the event actually in EV. Like in the point system.
Did he pass Vinny?
Yep. He's got 10,000 points. So he's about at least 1,000 over Venny.
Let me see. Let me see how low I am. Okay, but this hand, okay. What would you do?
Oh, well, I've accidentally spoiled a little bit here. But this would be one of the hands that is good enough to bet. Like when it comes down to hands that I'd be interested in betting on this board, it wouldn't be that many. I'd probably only bet something like 15% of the time on this board. But when I do, it would be with some sort of combo NFD, some sort of top pair nut flush blocker, top two, and then some hand like this, which is kind of in the middle here. We've got top and bottom, but we do have NFD and we do have a 10. So, we can check call on the straight cards and not feel as bad and that kind of stuff. So I don't mind what he does. And Tom, again, I would probably roll for this decision.
Actually, I was thinking I would flip out. I could see both options. So I wouldn't mind if you just take your old coin and flip it for this one.
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
This would feel like a good spot for the 50-50.
Yeah, nice.
And I still wouldn't mind like a check. Like it's gonna play good both ways. It's just for some people, that don't do this often just only have like good hands. So it's gonna be hard to get. I think this would be a good, better play with a bluff than a value hand because this play is just very strong in general from population.
Yeah. Sorry, just let me restart the video. It seemed to break down. So he gets flattered by button. They're deep. Pretty reasonable turn. So now that you're in this spot, I guess you're just going to pot every time, right? There's not much reason to check.
I think I would check.
You're a little bit scared of the 9-8 finding a turn raise, or
I'm not scared. I'm scared of just having actually this is one aspect we really disagree on so far.
Okay.
It's like I'm scared because it's SPR 8 and there's not that many good rivers. So
I want to juice it against all the different flush draws that have to call the turn though on this board. That's what I'm trying to get done.
Okay, but you're juicing it, but there's not really that many good rivers. So how bad do you want to juice it?
I mean, what you're right about here is that
I know what you're doing. You're seeing. I like the way you think. You see
hitting the river,
hitting the river.
Yeah.
I like the positivity, but maybe you don't play so much anymore. Yeah, so you think flush gonna come.
No, I run reasonably good, mate. I'm used to it. But no, it's definitely true that if I had the nut blocker, like with the ace of diamonds and top pair, for example, I would shut down a bit here because you know that you're going to get called a lot more now that it's two-tone. So you're not going to come out as often, at least I wouldn't.
I think it's just close again. I think, you have a value bet, but then again, you're also playing SPR 8 out of position. So, I think it's just something to say for both options.
Yep. Let's see what he does. He will pot it.
I'm by the way, I'm in the bottom 99% of the field so far.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's not finished yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually true. There's more than 2 weeks left, right? Or 2 weeks exactly left now.
Yeah, and it's 2 weeks I will be at home, have time to play.
Oh, no.
So, we'll see.
Let's see if it's a good river or not.
Yes.
Not the best.
This river that I see. But this is not the worst check call ever.
No.
I mean, you have a 10. 10 is the key card. So, and I mean, this is gonna check call, and we're gonna go to the next round.
And Tom, do you view the ace of diamonds here as a positive card to call down with because your opponent will likely not bluff with it, or how do you feel about the ace of diamonds and like a two-tone board like this?
I feel like some ace of diamonds could still bluff, like, because ace of diamonds is gonna arrive here, especially when you have the 9 and deuce. Ace of diamonds is gonna arrive here with a lot of no showdown. So I think it's still, and this is just a good card for. But I mean, it's not really that good of a card. Like, this guy's gonna check probably range, so he still has a lot of straights, and he still has a lot of good 2 pairs and sets. So, and now this guy's gonna rep Jack 9. Well, I don't mind it. Maybe he jams now. Would be crazy, but
Would
you never know.
you ever shove here, or would you min raise if you were gonna
Nah.
raise?
Maybe 2 weeks ago I would do it, but now not anymore.
I think.
But no, I mean, here you just have to make a decision if your hand is good or not. I think you're jamming here, like, I just don't see that many better folding.
Yeah, it's only really pocket jacks. I don't actually think people would bet Jack 9 because they'd be too scared of you c-betting a set and checking the river. I think they would think it's too thin. But maybe with this sizing, like you're noticing, it's a bit of a custom sizing on the river. His opponent might be trying to say, "Hey, I do have Jack 9."
I would personally like more to bet just half pot and pot, not 3/4 and pot. You don't believe that. I wouldn't believe like 3/4 is only sizing. So if I would bet another sizing, I would just bet half pot.
Yeah.
And just target those missed draws, like.
So what are we hoping though if we're gonna have the best hand here? I mean, I guess he could have any of like ace 6 7 with clubs.
He could, but he could. He just, the main draw is Jack 10, yeah. So Jack 10, we could have Jack 10, Queen Jack.
Yeah, I mean he beats Queen Jack, but like Jack 10, it's hard to have dry, right? Like what's your other 2 cards? Ace 5. You call the turn. You with clubs, I guess. Yeah, I guess anytime he has Jack 10 with clubs, he probably does bluff.
Yeah, that's why I don't like thinking in ranges in PLO. It's just double flush draw. He could have like 10,000 combinations, you know.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, in this format, they flat a lot.
It's more like this guy is gonna have a bluff or not. We could flip a coin again. 50-50.
No, I mean, I'm a massive station. If I ever have a 10 here, I probably don't fold. So.
No, your hand looks good for calling.
Yeah,
for sure.
Looks all good. I like the ace as well. So he's gonna have 7 5 5 3 for.
These guys
dirty turn peel here. This is a disgusting turn peel.
These guys are everywhere. Like these games, you should play a little bit. You would like it, man.
Yeah, I know, but I've seen a lot of hole cards and stuff. I feel like it's kind of uncool, you know. I'm busy anyway, so I don't really care. But it does look fun.
Everyone sees the hole cards because the winner shows their hands.
Yeah, but like if I'm involved in content, I've seen some of both, so I don't know. It's probably not cool. But whatever. I think this turn call, honestly, was probably him misreading his own hand. If I had to guess, I think he thought he had 7 5 4 3 or whatever.
No, he just wasn't ready to fold, and I think that because of the SPR
to
was
a
really
pot
high,
barrel on 2-tone, man.
Yeah, but SPR 8, he could bluff any river.
Drawing at a low gut shot. With bottom pair and a 7 high flushy, mate. I think he misread his hand, bro.
I think he went for he could bluff every river, and then he got the river he couldn't bluff, and he still bluffed.
I mean, you got to if you're this guy here, you have to bluff this fucking river.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm 100%. What, Tom? You love checking back nothing, mate. You're going to check back a 3 here. Is that correct? Come on, bro.
The guy is just gonna call.
Yeah,
9-8.
Well, you know, set him up for next time when you have the straight, mate. All good.
Yeah, but how far are you gonna go?
I don't know, mate.
Go until you're. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a strange turn call. I really think that guy misclicked. I know him. I'm gonna ask him.
I like turn call more. I like turn call more than flop call.
Okay, that's reasonable. Because flop wasn't even heads up.
You have a flush on the diamond. You have a blocker on the clubs. You can make a straight. You can make 2 pair. You can make a set. I like turn call. And a flush draw, you're in the sandwich. Big blind's also there. You're just dead on the flop.
Mm-hmm.
On a turn, your head's up in position. I like turn call a lot more than flop call.
Yeah, interesting. So now we're going to see this board and this hand. Interesting hand. I guess he's just going to... I mean, I would never c-bet this, personally. I don't see the need to...
I would bet range, but it's probably wrong.
Oh, okay. Actually, no, you know what? In this format, you could easily be correct, because the big blind defends so wide You know, you can put a lot of pressure.
No. I thought it was heads up. I thought it was single raise pot. It's 3-bet pot.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
It is. I thought it was single raise pot too, actually. So
no, it's 3-bet pot.
it's 3-bet pot. We're going to see a c-bet, and we're not going to fold. You don't do any crazy raising on this board, I assume. It's just too tricky to try and have that range, I think.
This is just a good hand for call. And hope he has something worse.
Yeah, it's an optimistic call down if he's going to call river.
It's like,
it's an interesting call.
Like he's saying he has king jack or aces, but people might...
Aces might not play this way though. He's saying he has
so he's saying he has king jack, so you have actually really good hand to call, yeah?
Yeah, no, that's true. And like he might have ace queen with a jack or a king as well, but you also block that. So, and he could have like ace jack 10-10, you know, and also play it like this. But you also block that. So yeah, maybe this is actually just a snap call and it's all good.
He could have a lot of value and he could have a lot of bluffs.
You're going to be tilted when he shows you aces, for sure. But it's probably a good call.
He would have played it good. Ace with diamonds. I mean, what else are you going to do like this? Bluff. No.
And he does have aces, okay. So kind of interesting line by villain.
Yeah, but he had the ace of diamonds and a double god shot. This one is easy. Yeah. I would be more impressed if he had like ace, deuce, dry.
Still, I don't know though, like on river, shove and pray that he has like a call. I don't know if I like that, honestly. I might check and pray that he bluffs something instead.
Then you should see a little bit more of the hands because like people can just call any two pair on a river. Any ace, king, any ace, jack, any,
I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting hand. I'm not sure if I would check on the river or not as that guy. Okay. 3-way. Oh, squeezed. Okay, 4-bet. I guess this probably isn't a 4-bet though, but it couldn't be too bad, right? 4-betting this. Anyway, 3-way to the flop, top 2.
I think it would be actually a really easy 4-bet in this format.
Yeah, well,
feels like it.
People squeeze wider. Like I know you were mentioning that 3-bet is probably still one of the places people are tightest, but they do squeeze wider because now the double suited large pairs are looking better, right? You've got a lot more people flatting with wider ranges, like the button calling like at least 20% against the cutoff. So it's easier to squeeze, and then it's probably a little bit easier to 4-bet. The one thing that's awkward, Tom, is they are like 160 deep or whatever, so maybe he's just uncomfortable getting shoved on and not knowing if he should fold or not. He probably should fold, I guess. But now he's going to flop top 2, face this small stab.
He should fold this versus 5-bet?
I think so.
I mean, why?
I don't know. I don't know how much of the money would have been in if he did it. We can rewind for a second. So how much?
It would have been 2,700 or something.
He makes it like what? Like 1,000. Yeah, okay. He can't fold. Yeah, he can't fold. Now he faces the small c-bet, Tom. How do you feel about the raise here? This is very similar to the other hand we looked at.
I'm feeling like raising right now.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, right? Like just a kind of small raise.
I'm feeling like raising.
Like 850, 900 something. Just be annoying. But he does just call. Okay. And pretty much GG turn. He's just going to call down here. River King could be interesting.
I'm gonna go with something speculative. I think Canary and Spa has ace deuce.
Oh, okay. Going for the soul read here.
This is what I'm feeling right now.
What am I feeling about this guy? He's going bet, jam here. If I'm this guy and I'm bluffing, like I need to have an 8 to feel happy about bluffing.
It's probably gonna be a bluff again.
It does feel like it'll be a bluff.
I'm feeling like ace deuce.
I think the guy will just have an 8 and be bluffing, like kings with an 8.
Okay, we'll see. Or chop. Chop would be nice.
If it's aces, though, I'm going to just be kind of annoyed at this hand. Let's see. Kings with an 8, Tom.
Oh,
do you think I saw the video out of interest? Are you getting sus? Or?
No, I didn't. I didn't. No.
Yeah, nice one.
No. I didn't. It's nice. It's a nice one. Maybe I'm going. Maybe I'm trying to fetch too far. Yeah, it's loose, but
Establishing dominance over the table with this
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, I love
Flopping
it.
bottom
I like
two.
it.
Easy check back, Tom, or you?
Feels like easy check back. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you were mentioning in the other hand, there's just too many shit runouts, right? So this hand
It
would be
feels
happy
like-
to win a showdown,
I
and
mean, I don't. The way I'm feeling. But yeah, but okay. So let's say you bet. What would you do first? Raise? Just stack, yeah? Or not?
well, yeah. The problem is, it's like what
You just want to
over
bet
5
all the
SPR.
time. You just like betting.
No,
You just want to put money in
I
the
would
pot.
never bet this.
Okay.
Because it's too disgusting. I mean, if the SPR was lower, sure, whatever. I'd pot it in for like 4 SPR, 3 point something SPR. I'd pot it in, but this is 5. You know, this is disgusting. I can't bet here. I have to check and
It
pray.
feels like a check.
Check and pray for something, not a diamond. Hopefully, it's okay. It's not the best card ever, but we're snap calling a bet, so we don't really care. And now we get to the river.
And now it's gonna come like a king or jack, and
It's a spicer. Okay, so we sort of block stuff, kind of. And is villain going to pot and we're going to not fold? Well, villain is going to pot and we're obviously not going to fold, otherwise we wouldn't see his cards.
one thing I feel like is people could like. He only has ace queen, unless they have like some really sick dynamic, which could be the case because people are playing a lot of hands. But in general, I would think like, and even ace queen could check. This is just such a good card for imposition.
Right, because ace queen could try to get
that he might
the
be
entire
skewed to
stack.
bluffs. Sorry?
Ace queen could try to get the whole stack by getting his opponent to bet himself first and min jam.
Yeah, and also like imposition can have aces here that you can bluff.
Mhm.
So it feels like cards you want to check a lot. And when someone bets on a card he wants to check a lot, could be a bluff.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good way to read this situation.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like Queen 9 wants to check, and if Queen 9 wants to check, he's wrapping his queen, and even his queen could check. So yeah, then he has not a lot of value.
Yeah, I mean, and
potentially a lot of bluffs.
it also comes down to what he stabs on the turn. Because to feel like a pretty comfortable bluff, say you wanted to have a range that made sense for a bluff, because like you're saying, it's not too often you want to bet on this card that changes everything so much. And if you do, maybe you're more looking to block bet, you know, like I might have a set here. I might want to bet smaller, you know, and put myself in a spot where, okay, I'm going to get raised sometimes and I have a tough decision. But that makes a bit more sense.
Good play. Just bet all your straights and all your sets for a third. I think it would be a really good play. Then you can still jam his aces as a bluff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make more sense. But now that we do face this, like you say, it's a very polarizing bet. So this range should be like happening less often, right? They shouldn't make this play as often. So if he wanted to have a bluff that made sense, he'd also have to bet the turn with like pocket queens, basically, himself. So some queen's hand with like a king, I guess, like top pair, QQ. I don't know, not many people really do this stuff. So whatever he has here, I think it's going to be weird. Like if he doesn't have ace queen himself, I think he's going to have like a strange bluff, like maybe just the low card missed straight, like some missed, or like some sort of 10-9 or 10-8 hand himself that also missed like a queen 10-8.
Yeah, but
something.
Now you're trying to make a range again, and it's like, it's PLO. You can have like any 4. You can have like so many. How many combinations are there in PLO?
I don't know, bro.
You don't know?
Nah, it's not my thing to know these kind of. It's a lot, mate. You know, I don't even remember what it is in Hold'em. It's 200 and something. I don't know.
That's why I don't like to think like this. More.
Well, it's not like you're counting them on your hand. You're just kind of trying to figure out if it's a lot or if it's not that much. But I'm going to put this guy on queen 10-8-8, Tom. Okay? I've made my selection.
I'm going easy now. Ace queen.
Okay.
But it's going to be a bluff. But I'm still saying ace queen.
Ace 10-8.
Never. They never have it.
Double misdraw.
I have to make a note on my screen. They never have it.
Yeah.
Never.
Interesting river decision for this guy here. I mean, he just doesn't want to give the pot away. He thinks his ace and his 8 are blocking some straights. I guess that's true.
You see, it's also on 10k plus already. Maybe he wants to build it up, you know? You don't feel like when you have a really big stack, you don't want to quit your session, you just want to run it up to like just heights you haven't seen before, like 20k, 30k, you know? What's the biggest stack you ever had on 1020?
Don't know, 8K, 10K,
6K?
10K maybe. I don't know. I mean, if you're not talking about live, obviously, if you mean like on GG or whatever.
Live is different.
Yeah.
Live you can buy in for 10K, 1020.
I don't remember, honestly, man. I don't think about that. The biggest stack I ever had online was like 90 something K. I quit instead of trying to go for the 100, Tom. How do you like that? I mean, I was taking a shot for like a quarter of my roll, so you know, I was trying to knit it up a little bit. Yeah, it's good. Okay, we've got a lot of hands here, man. Are you good for time? How's it going for you?
I can go for a little bit.
You tell me.
I would limp re-raise this hand.
I love limp raising hands that aren't aces. I love it. It's the best.
But this would be for me. This would be quite easy limp re-raise for me. But not all people play it.
Yeah, well, and not all people play the limp too, Tom. I'm not sure. How's it been looking in your games?
Everyone's limping. Everyone is limping this festival.
Okay, everyone is playing at least some limps.
Almost everyone is limping from all positions.
And you're 2.5xing, Tom, or are you the only one?
Limping and potting. I'm only 2.5xing in, or like when I'm playing like 100, 200 with 40 BB, or like in tournaments.
Okay, so short stacking, then you find the smaller open raise a bit more interesting.
Yeah, and just sometimes in tournaments when people have money pressure, like bubbles and final tables and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can do, you know, Suapex.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to pull out the small 3-bet in ICM scenarios. Have you seen this? I get it, but it's like it's so dangerous to try doing this shit, you know?
If he wants to tilt people,
he does want to tilt people. Yeah, that's a big part of his game.
If I would be so fucking tilted if I was on a final table for him.
You get min 3-bet, and then you have to call and see the flop. And you get barreled into, you know, for small, just setting up a river pot bet, you know?
Yeah, but what is he playing? Hold'em?
I don't know. He doesn't do this all the time, but he did it once or twice. Anyway, I like your style with the limp raise, although I wouldn't do it with this exact hand. I like the more connected shit, and I wouldn't go for the ace-king.
Yeah, but this is such a PLO player thing to say. How is this hand not perfectly connected? This is.
I just don't like the king. I don't like the king because I want them to have some ace-king-king hand that's like going to fold pre, basically.
You're thinking too hard again, I think.
I like it. Anyway, he's going to check here. Pretty standard with second nut flush draw, no pair, nothing.
Yeah.
Turn top pair. Do you like to fire here? Yeah, nice big bet. It makes,
because now I feel like my draw is to the nuts. My king and ace and 10 is also to the nuts. They probably don't have anything. And if they have something, we're doing really good against it. Unless like J-Jack-9 specifically, but...
Yeah. There is some problem because they will have jacks and queens with a gut shot and not fold.
Yeah, but we have enough equity for that. Yeah. And like this is just a pot. This is just a pot. I feel like it, at least. Now this... I could see it because you're wrapping a one pair hand.
Monkey is gonna check raise.
Tricky. And I feel like... It feels like a call. What do you think?
I don't know, bro. I think I would honestly fold here. Not because it's not an NFD, but just because the spot, for one, I don't really think this is a very bluffed situation against delayed stab, and we just have no other outs. Like, if we had a gutty, whatever, you know, I could justify calling the turn.
I'll give you some secret inside information, okay?
Oh, yeah?
This guy has already 4-betted me 3 times with something like 8-6-4-5 single suit.
Okay.
Like hijack.
Well, I mean, then I would just shove the turn and say, let's have some fun, you know, if that's the case.
Yeah, but I don't know if he does it post-flop as well. I'm only saying this secret information about...
I would fold to him, and then if I saw him with just some dirt hand, like 8-9-9 with one spade or whatever, then I would never fold again, you know? But I just don't see people making this bluff.
Next time, you know?
It's fine, but then he earned it at least, you know?
Yeah, okay, that's true.
All right, so whatever. This guy's going to call. Fair enough. River's a brick, and I mean, I guess he knows his customer here. He's going to snap him off on the river.
I'm going to go for special one now.
Now Monkey is bluffing with 10-8, and Djokovic is gonna call, and then you lose 10-8.
I think if Monkey has him beat, it's with a river 3. That's what I think.
Well, I like. I mean, I like it.
But no, I'm just gonna put him on whatever pocket 4s.
No, you're putting him on ace 3, 5 with the nut flush draw. That's what you're
I'm just putting him on value all the way, mate. Pocket 4s with a flush draw. Okay, with a flush
with
draw.
a flush draw.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Let's see. Oh, Tom! What a read! He's got everything. He's got queens. He's got top 2. He's got a flush draw. So interesting.
This was value for sure. This was value, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like if he had just 10-8, like you first said, then maybe you could say, okay, this is a bluff. But because he has queens as well, it's quite random of him to be trying to bluff his opponent off an overpair with an overpair. Anyway, well played, Monkey.
Easy played.
What do you think about folding the turn, though, Tom, in general, against
I
a
don't know.
normal opponent?
It's just player dependent.
Yeah.
Like, because if he's good, he's gonna have a lot of nut flush draw things which you do really well against.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like it's hard for people to find the check button there. But I agree. Better players will always have, some good hands and some interesting
if
bluffs.
he's like good or crazy or just aggressive, I think it's just quite easy call. I think you're gonna play well on the river. You just make a flush. I mean, if you make a flush and he jams, then you're not happy.
Yeah, I mean, the good players do have the future blocker a lot with all of the aggressive moves that they make, but yeah, tough one. What about here, Tom? We got the 996, just 100 BB to start.
I don't like this spot. You can do it.
You don't like this spot? Okay.
I don't like it at all. I would start with a check, I think.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people probably bet more than they're supposed to on these kind of paired boards where there's a lot of shit going on. But I would I would expect a check and a call of any reasonable bet. If there's somehow a pot bet, maybe he could fold, but it's not something you see ever really. So he will check, he'll call this, obviously. I don't think there's any reason to raise. There's no additional equity. You could do weird shit like coming out and donking the turn, because the SPR is only 2 here, And your opponent has a ton of hands that have a lot of equity, but with no backup at all, it feels a little bit too disgusting. So I would also just check and then feel very, very sad facing any real action on the turn. But you're probably not allowed to fold this hand. So it could be tricky. The one thing that we do have going for us, I mean, this is a really easy call versus that sizing, is that we unblock every single possible draw. Like, our cards, they don't really interact in any negative way with the board whatsoever. Like, when we hold this, our opponent will have a draw very often. The downside of that is there are a lot of rivers that there's no way we can call them as a result of our lack of blockers. And now we're going to get a river where quite a lot of stuff gets there. Obviously, everything else that could bluff will bluff. I would not call this river at all. I would just check fold. But this guy clearly won't check fold. And he might be right. What do you think, Tom, about any of this?
7-5.
7-5 for the absolute lowest possible straight? Is that what you're saying? I mean, fair enough. If he wants to shove that, that makes total sense. I'm actually going to say that the guy is just going to have some sort of 7-8 hand. Like King Jack 7-8. He's just going to have the rare bluff.
I don't know how many value the guy mixed in.
Yeah, it's got random 7s. Random 7s. Turn stab is not the... I mean, if you want to bluff a river like this, you kind of have to continue barreling on the turn.
I wouldn't mind the checking turn. Checking flop back.
Checking flop back. Yeah. Interesting. If we had the jacks, like with 1-7, I would feel that. I would be very happy with that. But with the 7s, it feels like we just have to be aggressive, like on those low runouts.
But for block, your opponent is never folding a better hand. So you can just keep him in with total air.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's never folding a better hand, so yeah.
I think the turn spot in general, though, is interesting. Like, we've got $800 pot and $1,600 stacks. We have random kings. Can we just donk pot on this safe turn? 2 SPR. Like, if it was SPR, 100% we could.
I was thinking about check jamming the turn and just fucking all his draws.
Ooh, that is also great. Yeah, that's probably even better than
I
just
would like
leading.
that a lot more than
Yeah.
front potting, because when you front pot and the guy jams, you're dead.
You're
So
dead.
you have to
You're full dead. Yeah.
call.
You just
You have
pop
to
fold,
call
mate.
bluff.
Easy. No problem.
Yeah.
Pop
So
fold. You're
I
never
don't know.
bluffing. Yeah, that's cool actually. I never considered that because we didn't have any backup equity, but I think that would work better than my little potting impulse. I don't think I would have done that. I just think it's interesting. Yeah,
Well,
check shoving the turn.
check jamming for someone who is really aggressive,
Yeah.
then he just fuck all his draws. Yeah, it's kind of nice, right?
Yep. And now we've got a guy here who raises a hand that I think the rest of us would either limp or not play. And he's going
I
to
would
get
limp
3-bet and call, so bit of a spicer. Possibly an action player, the guy under the gun. He's going to check call here, backdoor flush draw, jacks and a deuce. Fair enough. Turn is whatever.
I can confirm action player.
Yeah, action player detected. Third part, call again, whatever. King?
Now he's just gonna call down. Yeah, quite a boring hand, to be honest. He's just
Yeah.
gonna call, and the guy's gonna show bluff.
Yeah, you don't think these regs would try and stack fish with aces or something in a spot like this? It feels a little bit thin, right?
Oh no, I feel like kings should even go here.
Okay, so you think it's reasonable to try and get 3 streets off a guy like this?
I mean, for most people, I think aces for sure.
I would
Kings-
way rather be against a reg and try to stack them with aces in this spot than a random fish. I'm a lot
No,
more
this is-
scared that
this-
the
this-
fish
this-
just have
this,
these.
This is 100% a reg.
Oh, really?
I mean, like they're all regs, but they're all fish. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like everyone is playing, like everyone's playing.
right.
Yeah, I'm the worst because I'm losing it. But like everyone's playing really crazy.
Yeah.
So like, I wouldn't make too much difference in reg or fish. It's just everyone's playing crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what kind of bluffs do you really expect to see here, though? It's kind of only like ace king, ace queen, ace jack with 5-6 and 6-4. Like, they're the only ones that you really expect
No,
to
but
see.
they can't just have any 4 Kaki. They can have any. They can have queen jack 10-9.
Queen
They
jack
can have any 4.
10-9.
They can have just range. This feels like a pretty reasonable spot to go for range anyway. I mean, he's gonna fold every street. He's gonna fold all the not flush draw stuff now that he's not didn't raise, or all the flush draws miss. Maybe not flush draw, he raises
Yeah.
his flop, but all the flush draws miss. So
I think
this is
it's
another
okay.
weird.
If he's bluffing with like ace king 10-9 or something, I guess that's not awful. I don't like the idea of having queen or a jack in my hand, but whatever. That's probably just a random thought that doesn't matter. Let's see what he bluffs with.
Bluff, range, KakiTee.
This just feels awful though. This feels like a horrible bluff.
Yeah, especially when he calls with jacks.
Yeah. Well, maybe he thought having queen jack 10 would block him having those medium overpairs that are going to call down here, you know? Could
It's a
be.
different game.
Yeah, true. Interesting.
Okay, let's do the last one.
All right.
I have to go to bed.
Okay. Same dude. I'm from the previous bluff.
Now he has a really good hand.
Not the dream spot for him. They're a little bit deep. Okay. So we might see a
Leads.
donk here straight off the bat. Feels pretty easy with
This one
the...
even I would beat.
Okay, what kind of sizing do you go for though on a connected board like this? Do you
Well,
go small or half?
Actually, at 100 I would go half, but now I would go 3/4, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure what sizing I like. Yeah, I think I would probably stay with half just because the bigger you go, the easier it is to fold your opponent off the weakest shit in their range. And I sort of don't want them to do that, you know? I want to feel comfortable when I'm betting on a later street with a bluff like this that they're still going to have something to fold.
You have an ace and a king anyway, so like those hands.
It's already negative, yeah. True. Interesting, yeah. It's going to be a strange hand. So he's going to go half pot, not get raised. Turn some other lower stuff gets there, which is interesting. Obviously, he totally unblocks pairs. Do you think
Now you're
potting
gonna
here,
go
Tom?
3/4.
Do you think potting is 3/4? Okay. Is that just because you want to represent that you have like some top 2 and sets and whatnot still and not just be polar to a straight? Or what is it exactly that makes you want to size that one?
I think so. Also leave a little bit higher SPR on the river. I mean, the spot is making him have a tough decision on all 3 streets, and that works better with 3/4 here, I think.
Yeah, good read. He does bet exactly that. Gets called, and I'm assuming we'll see a brick. No, we actually see an ace. It doesn't really change anything. I think it's just an auto bluff, though, really.
Is he going to check call now?
That feels stupid to me. You check, they just have Queen 9, which they were snap folding. You know, you're going to be on tilt. So I would.
He fold? I don't know. Have you seen any of these hands? Why would this guy snap fold Queen 9?
Don't know, because people should have value when they pot 3 times.
They do have, well, no, I don't think like.
You would consider the check here?
I think you have a little bit of showdown.
Oh, for sure we do. I mean, the king of diamonds is kind of bad for that too, because we're blocking our opponent having like a king's hand that we do beat. Yeah. I don't know. I would bluff it. You reckon maybe we could check call?
I mean,
check min raise. That could be the one.
No,
fold him off 6-7.
The guy's gonna jam or check. So I mean,
I think check call. They're too shallow.
And then you see, Queen Jack with diamonds.
I think he's just gonna have
Ace 9.
Ace Jack 6-7 with missed diamonds. So the low straight.
Have you seen the hand or not?
No, I'm just randomly guessing. Oh, there you go, Tom. Good call, mate. At least I would have shoved and felt like I ran bad, you know, Tom?
Maybe would have folded.
Yeah, sure. People never fold when they get there on the river. It's just like a rule of the game. If you improve on the river, you don't fold. And the one time you do, they always have a bluff.
Horrible game.
Yeah.